Welcome back, All Sports West New York. Steve Manson, the hockey man from WNYHockeyNow.com. And Steve, the NHL draft is 26th, 27th of June.
Next week?
Next weekend, right.
Yep.
And, you know, Sabre fans have been looking forward to this weekend since, I think, the second month of the season. The Sabres have the second pick in the draft. First, no, you know, we'll wait. I was going to have you predict, too, but let's talk first, and then we'll have you give your prediction. How much difference do you think it's going to make with the Sabres not having the first pick as opposed to the second?
None.
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 And you say that why?
Well, most of the rumors out there, it's been confirmed by a number of sources that the Florida Panthers are going to take Aaron Ekblad out of Barrie, the defenseman. Well, I don't think the Sabres need another young defenseman. So really, they're going to have their pick of the centers that most people think are going to be number 2 and number 3, Sam Bennett or Sam Reinhart. So I don't think it's going to affect the Sabres at all, because if they had the number 1 pick overall, they'd probably have a real conundrum, because Aaron Ekblad is probably the best player in the draft. Do you need another defenseman? That's the whole question.
Right. How many picks does the Sabres have in this draft?
One in the first round.
One in the first round. No, well, yeah, I know they have one pick in the first round, but they have a couple low picks besides the first pick.
Well, they have 3 second-round picks.
3 second. Okay, so 3 in the second. So there's 4 picks basically, and gives them access to the top 60 players.
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm going to be real honest. I can't say this is a poor draft, but it's not a great deep draft. So those second-round picks certainly will be players that'll be into the system and everything. But it's just the guy you're going to get with that second overall pick that's going to be, you know, the possible guy on the team next year or not. You know,
okay, we've teased the audience enough. Who do you think they're going to pick?
God, I go back and forth between Sam Bennett and Sam Reinhart. With Bennett, you get a guy who I've seen a number of times play with Kingston. I mean, first of all, let's be real honest. These are 18-year-old kids, okay?
Right.
We've gone through the 18-year-old kid thing before with Grigorenko and some other ones. They got to be very special to be in the NHL next year. The second overall pick in the draft last year, Druin, by the Tampa Bay Lightning, went back to junior. So to say that whoever they draft is going to be part of the team next year. Well, with Bennett, you have Central Scouting predicts he would be the first pick overall. He's a center. He's got good speed. He likes to rough it up a little bit. He likes to get in there, in the front of the net and hold it. He's a player I think most Buffalo fans would probably say, geez, that sounds like the guy we kind of want. Then he went to the combine, and his upper body physical training, he couldn't even do a pull-up. And
that's unbelievable.
It is. But
and not is it just not unbelievable that this young athlete can't do a pull-up.
Right.
But scouts and general manager says, well, who cares if he can do a pull-up?
Well, you know what? I kind of agree with that. You've watched this kid for 2 years play for Kingston. You've watched him probably before that with other teams. Tim Murray, our general manager, was working for the Ottawa Senators up until late last season. Kingston's in the same division with the Ottawa 67s, so he's probably seen Sam Bennett play many, many times. Do you make up your mind on what you've seen or what this kid? It's like the NFL combine. You go to see all their college games, and then you're going to make a decision because a kid runs a 4.6 rather than a 4.4.
Well, but Steven.
Yeah.
Do you not see the obvious issue with a player, the lack of upper body strength to not be able to, I mean, I could even do a pull-up. I could do 1 pull-up.
Okay.
Maybe 2 pull-ups.
All right.
But, come on.
I don't have an answer for that.
I mean, the guy's going to be playing against men.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, let's go to the other Sam, the other out and playing in the Western Hockey League, Sam Reinhart, an extremely intelligent center. Good speed, good power play guy, more of an assist man than a scorer, but he's very, very smart on the ice, handles the puck well. They're not going to go wrong by taking him either.
So what's your pick?
Up until the combine, I would have picked Bennett. Now I'm really torn. And I'm not doing it because of the combine, but now I'm going with Reinhart. I never saw Reinhart play live. I've seen a lot of video on him and stuff like that, and he really impresses me as a smart hockey player.
Okay, we only have 2 minutes left, but I want to quickly touch on something else that we were talking about before we start taping the show, and that is more and more, there's more press to it. I'm hearing more alluding to it. But it's becoming obvious that the power down there with the Buffalo Sabres and the First Niagara Center, more and more is Kim Pegula, who really, if you stop thinking about it, she may be one of the most powerful women in pro sports. When you start to hear that she's pretty much the mover shaker down there. They've done they've created a new organization, putting 17 different entities under the flag of Pegula Sports and Entertainment. The Sabres will be one of those. And I'm being told that it's really Kim Pegula is a driving force in trying to also purchase the Buffalo Bills. But yet she is not somebody, people complain about Terry Pegula not being available, but Kim Pegula has been invisible in this market.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't have an answer for that because I haven't had any dealings with her. I've only met her 2 times and have been in groups. And up until they made some changes last year, I've been very critical of the Sabres on this show. I think they made good changes. I'm not happy with the loss of Pat LaFontaine, but so be. And this summer is the most critical summer in the history of the Buffalo Sabres. They've got to come up with a good draft choice. They have all sorts of cap room to sign some leadership because you can't play 23 rookies. You can't bring up Joe Armenia and Russellane and Volkov and all these young kids. You got to have some guys, some veterans in there, and they've traded most of their veterans away, so they're going to have to spend a few dollars. They've got the dollars to spend. So this is going to be an extremely critical summer, and we'll see how this organization comes through it.
Well, and back to the Kim Pegula, the employees that work there that I'm familiar with can say nothing but good things about Kim Pegula. They love her as a boss. It's just interesting to me that she's completely kept herself off the media radar in this market for somebody who has as much say as she apparently does as to what goes on down there. So I'm sure she'll be involved.
Do we really want an owner that's on television all the time and doing nothing? I mean, let's see what happens. Okay.
What do you have against being on television?
I'm talking like a Daniel Snyder and watching or something like that.
Some of us have made our living being on television. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Manson. And I want to mention there is a NHL viewing party being put on by the Sabres. If we have some information on that, and that's going on the 26th and 27th. If we can see that. That
Friday night, get there early because the Sabres draft second.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm going to tell you right now, there is always a chance of a trade because Murray has made the statement several times that if he can get some prospects that are already ready to come up, he might trade that pick.
Okay. Steve Manson, the hockey man. We'll be back. John DeSciullo, Mr. Television, Mr. Bragging Rights will be on next.